On the news tonight, INEC rescheduled 2027 election, releases new timetable. Plus, Governor Dauda Lawal flag up distribution of inputs for 2027 dry season farming. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to NTA Gusau. Today, 10th Ramadan 1447, after the hijrah of Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina, which is equivalent to 27th February 2026. With me, Elias Allau, is the full details of the news. The Independent National Electoral Commission has released a new timetable for the 2027 general elections. The presidential and the National Assembly election will now be held on Saturday, 16 January 2027, instead of 20th February 2027 as earlier scheduled. The governorship and the State House of Assembly election will take place on Saturday, 6th February 2027, as against the earlier date of 6th March 2027. According to the new timetable, party primaries will commence from 23rd April to 30th May 2026. Campaigns for presidential and National Assembly elections will begin on 19th August 2026. Campaigns for governorship and State House of Assembly elections will start on the 9th September 2026. These changes followed an adjustment to the election schedule which the electoral body was unable to implement as initially planned. Governor Dauda Lawal has flagged up the distribution of farming inputs to support farmers for the 2026 dry season farming across Zamfara State. Performing the ceremony at the State Ministry of Agriculture in Gusau, the governor said the initiative is in line with his administration's commitment to boosting agricultural productivity, enhancing food security, and strengthening the state economy. Correspondent Zara Umusa has more on this.
The Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal explained that the farming inputs being distributed improved seeds, fertilizers, water pumping machines, and agrochemicals aimed at ensuring a successful dry season farming. He noted that agriculture remains the backbone of the state's economy, stressing that present administration will continue to provide necessary support to farmers. Governor Lawal urged beneficiaries to make judicious use of the items and avoid diversion, warning that government will monitor the distribution process to ensure transparency and accountability.
Input, the fertilizer, the chemicals, and so on.
I order farmers to make the most of this opportunity and use these inputs wisely. It is our ardent hope that those initiatives will provide the needed impetus to sustainable agricultural development, not only in Zamfara State, but in the nation at large.
Other speakers at the event were the State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, as well as the coordinator Fadama Tree, among others, said the program targets thousands of smallholder farmers across the 40 local government areas of the state, adding that extension workers have been mobilized to guide farmers on modern farming techniques for improved yield.
I call on all beneficiaries to receive these inputs and assets as a trust and responsibility to utilize diligently. Transparency and accountability will guide this distribution.
It is nothing that we hide in our rooms and decide and siphon most of it and say that we have benefit. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting his hands in what this administration does.
The distribution exercise is expected to further strengthen dry season farming activities and contribute significantly to food sufficiency in Zamfara State. In Gusau, Zara Umusa, NTA News.
The Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has flagged up the distribution of food items to internally displaced persons, IDPs, across the state as part of Ramadan welfare support. Flagging up the exercise in Gusau, Governor Dauda Lawal said the gesture forms part of his administration's commitment to cushioning the effects of economic hardship on citizens, particularly the less privileged and vulnerable groups. Zara'u Musa once again has more on this report.
The food items comprises 9,275 bags of rice, 7,675 bags of beans, 713 bags of millet, 869 gallons of 4 liters of oil, and 784 liters of gallons of vegetable oil, among others. The governor explained that the intervention being coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, National Commission for Refugees, and Zamfara State Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. He noted that Zamfara State government remains sensitive to the plight of the people and will continue to initiate programs aimed at improving their living standards.
This initiative is paramount at a period when many households are facing economic and security-related challenges. It demonstrates the commitment of the federal government of Nigeria to protect the dignity and well-being of its citizens, especially the most vulnerable among us.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Bernard M. Duru, represented, noted that the ministry will continue to partner with other relevant ministries to ensure all internally displaced persons across the country have received the necessary attention and assistance. Some beneficiaries who spoke at the event expressed appreciation to the state government, describing the intervention as timely and impactful. The distribution exercise is expected to continue simultaneously across the local government areas of Zamfara State. In Gusau, Zara Musa, NTA News.
Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has approved the recruitment of 3,050 qualified teachers into the state basic education system. This is contained in a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer, Zamfara State Universal Basic Education Board, ZASBE, Ibrahim Musa Maizari. It stated that the approval underscores the commitment of the present administration to revitalize the education sector and addressing the shortage of qualified teachers across public, primary, and junior secondary school in Zamfara State. According to the statement, the recruitment of the 350 teachers is aimed at improving the teacher-pupil ratio across the state, enhancing the quality of teaching and learning outcomes, expanding access to basic education, particularly in underserved communities, and strengthening the overall capacity of the basic education subsector. The ZASBE chairman, Professor Nasiru Garba Anka, commended the governor for this timely intervention while assuring the general public that the recruitment process will be transparent, merit-based, and conducted in accordance with extant rules and guidelines. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Sokoto State Command, has dealt a major blow to drug trafficking by intercepting 47 bags of cannabis sativa and arrested a suspect at Tamaji area, Sokoto, in connection with the crime. The commander, NDLEA Sokoto State Command, Mustafa Muhammad Gedatu, disclosed the breakthrough while briefing journalists on the command's latest anti-drug operation. Imran Abala has more on this report.
Among the illicit substances recovered were methamphetamine, popularly known as ice, intercepted during an operation conducted on Monday. Suspects arrested in connection with the seizure are currently in custody and will be charged court upon the completion of investigations. The operation forms part of intensified efforts to prevent traffickers from using the state as a transit route for illegal drugs. Similarly, more than 182 cartons of codeine syrup were intercepted in a separate operation, further underscoring the agency's commitment to curbing drug abuse and illicit trafficking. In addition to the earlier seizure made, investigations are ongoing to track down other suspects and sources of the illicit substances.
The gentleman is from Cross River State, as I have rightly told you, and he is sleeping with his exhibit in his room. And not only the cannabis sativa, there is 47 bags that was arrested with him. He was also arrested with 10 grams of methamphetamine, popularly known as ice in Sokoto.
The command reaffirmed its resolve to sustain surveillance, intelligence gathering, and public sensitization to protect communities from dangers of illicit drugs. The commander called on the public and sister agencies to continue supporting the command with vital information on drug dealing and trafficking within the state. He appealed to the Sokoto state government and other stakeholders to sustain their support to enable the command to discharge its duties effectively in safeguarding lives and property across the state. In Sokoto, Imran Abubakar Bala, NTA News.
Viewers, with this report of NDLEA intercepting illicit drugs, we conclude our news tonight. Good night.